Hey guys, welcome back. So here we are. This is the part 2 of the familiar Tieramid that we started yesterday. Now, admittedly, there's going to be a part 3 just because I want to take my time a little bit in the next two rows because, we're gearing towards the controversial territory and I want you to at least, understand or appreciate why I put them there. All right, but this is the one yesterday, right? So the barely usable and the legacy corner. Now, I'm showing this to you because there are reactions and some petitions to some familiars here, right? And unfortunately, nobody sent a video. Maybe nobody wants to show their face, but I am going to read some of the interesting ones in the comment section, and I'll give you my take or my defense on why I put them here. Let's start with Namikae, or Namikae. So, Squibby with High Awake is a monster for me. So, that's like a bunny bot with heal, and it's really good familiar. I even use Squibby Awake 0 with 300 jelly to go against a burst steam. And then there is an agreement from another commenter, so YouTube enjoyer. So, I hope you enjoy YouTube. Yeah, I agree. Squibby is a must on in defense. All right, so Squibby's skill is he heals, and then the one that gets healed will take less damage for 5 seconds. That's only for 5 seconds. Keep in mind. And so, in order to take advantage of Squibby, really you need to have a team with only one melee type, right? So, like let's say that's an Ebontorex, or even better, you have a bird, right? Because that bird will definitely benefit from a Squibby skill in a way, right? And it will kind of help bird do at least 2 bursts in one battle. Now, I agree that Squibby is good at what he does, but this is where the qualifiers are very important. I'll show them to you. So, current meta and existing familiars, synergy and importance in team comp, likelihood, price of awakening, experience in the arena. Now, so with Squibby, he is a rare familiar at the end of the day, so I totally understand that Squibby would be good on defense, because if you rock like Shrimp Paler, Toko, and Squibby, it will be very hard to kill that very one familiar that you have in front, especially if the other team doesn't have a Staghorn to really break the formations. So in that regard, that would be awesome. But then again, in that lineup, who is the more important one? Toko? Who's the next one? Shrimp Paler? Squibby would be the last, right? And then Squibby is the rare familiar. And as you said, he's good on defense, but I don't think he is that usable on offense, right? And so that is why Squibby is very, very, very niche, and that's why he is very barely usable. And you see that in the familiar arena, and so I think I'm gonna keep him here. All right, so but thank you, Namekai, for your comment. Alright, now let's get to the Tieramid, but before that, I'd like to give a shout out to NDJ, who gave a hilarious comment. So I'm not gonna read everything, but basically he is watching my videos while pooping, so like that really made me laugh. So thank you, NDJ, for your funny comment. Let's get to the Tieramid. So bottom row, barely usable, no changes here. This will be intact. Legacy corner, nobody really gave a negative reaction to this, so I guess I did a great job here. Everybody agrees, so that is it. Now, please, show me the next slide. Strength in numbers. Now, admittedly, this is kind of different from yesterday because I forgot Bufu, just because he wasn't in the, where I got this one. So now we are including Bufu, and this is what we came up with. So I said strength in numbers because they are really good as part of the team, like a complementary piece, but they're not a combo starter or anything like that, right? So strength in numbers. So let's start with Bufu. Bufu really came from Legacy Corner and trying to jump to strength in numbers. So that's why he's a little bit in the downside. He's not on par with all of them. So honestly, he could fit the description of the Legacy Corner because he was devastating the last season. Just like with Tarracona though, we are starting to see less and less of him. And I also said in the beginning that he is super OP, but that was because I was comparing him to Tarracona, who at the time was also OP, right? Because he is better than Tarracona just because of his placement. He is damage over time, but he is a range type, so he can keep doing these damage over time and last a long time in battle. But now with the current meta, he doesn't really have a crowd control. He doesn't break the formation of the other team. He is really good damage over time, and currently, just because of the Boar Toko Shrimp Paler meta, which is very famous, and the weakness of that is a water type, and so he is a little bit above the legacy corner. He can still be really, really good just because of that meta, but together with the fact that you can no longer get him, so whatever awaken you have him as of the moment, it's gonna stay that way. It's really hard to get him higher than this one. So Puffu has punched above legacy corner, but strength in numbers is as far as he can go. All right, next we have Disbelief. Now, I love Disbelief, and I'm also scared of it, right? And he is the epitome of strength in numbers, because if you pair him together with a melee def type, that is, his heals would be really, really annoying. His heals is only single target, but huge amount, like around 60% of the HP. So basically, like, let's say if you pair him with an Ebon Thorax, after a few hits, and then if you bring him back to full health after all of the nukes of the other team, man, that is... It feels good if you're using him, but it feels really bad if you're going against it. Okay? And so, like, I am using him in my Ignatius account. I don't even have a BTS team in my Ignatius account, but I am using him together with a Toko, a Shrimp Paler, and then Disbelief together with a Ebon Thorax. I am winning a lot of def battles. So I have reached top 100 just by doing def in that account. And so in that regard, we are putting Disbelief right here, and rightly so. I would say he is staying here. Next, we have Dinoceras. Now, Dinoceras is a combo finisher with just how long it takes for him to cast his skill. And I've shown you a video of this, so I have used him together with a Staghorn, and then a Hippocampus Whirlpool, and then the Dinoceras will cast last, and then basically kill a lot of familiars in the process after his skill. So I've used him in an experiment using, like, without using a Toko, because we're trying to see if it is possible to win without a Toko. So if you can kill the other team before Toko becomes significant, like finish the game in under 15 seconds, then basically it is possible. And so I guess a lot of, because I see him a lot, like I see a lot of people using that combo now, like the Staghorn, Hippocampus, and Dinoceras. So I guess they saw that video, so maybe that's where it stemmed from. But yeah, so Dinoceras is a combo finisher and really good if he can cast it, right? If he isn't cancelled, kind of easy to get cancelled still, but if he can do it, it is really, really good. And then there is that slight chance that he could break formation of a BTS team, and so that cements him in the strength in numbers. Next, we have Ouroboros, which is kind of in the same boat as Dinoceras. Takes a long time to use his skill, easily cancelled, so you would need some support in order to make sure that he casts the skill. Could be a combo finisher to replace a Dinoceras, especially if there's a lot of water types in the other side of the team, right? But in terms of value, compare the two, I would give the edge to Dinoceras because, you know, like, there's a lot of Shrimp Palers. Ouroboros is weak against that. Even if they're not using a Boar, someone would be using a Might, which can cancel Ouroboros easily or even kill him because Ouroboros is weak against that. And then he does less damage against, you know, like a Boar. And then he can't really break formation like a Dinoceras. So yeah, he is in the strength in numbers, but in terms of value, kind of lesser than a Dinoceras. Next, let's go with, and I know this is going to be controversial, Aurora Lynx. Now, he is a little bit bigger because, I mean, he is kind of stronger. Like, in terms of value, he is stronger than all of this. Like, the other three, definitely Puffu. He is better in terms of value, but I cannot punch him higher than strength in numbers. Because really, he does fit here. Right, he is not a combo starter. He is a very good combo finisher. So if you pair him together with a Staghorn or a Hippocampus or a like an Ebon Thorax, if you can like gather some familiars together, and if you can do damage to 2 or 3 familiars, he can be really devastating. But because of how small the AOE is, sometimes that doesn't happen very often, and so he needs some help, which kind of limits his flexibility. You can't use him with just any team, right? So he doesn't fit the BTS team, because with the BTS you need two other melee types, and he's not a melee type, so that there is a X. But I am also considering the fact that he can be good against an Ebon Torex. So with Ebon Torex being higher on the list, spoiler, so there is a meta counter there. Also kind of considered the price that would take to get him to a higher awakening. So yeah, he is in the strengthened numbers, but bigger. Now, we do have a petition already for Aurora Lynx to get him higher on the list, and that is from Tweezy, who is a loyal watcher of the show, right? So shout out to you, Tweezy. So it is a very long comment, but I will, just give you the highlights. So he said, I hope you give Lynx more credit that you have been, because, I did a video where, I said Aurora Lynx is not worth wailing for, right? And he said, I would take Awaken 7 Lynx over Awaken 10 Suryu, right? There aren't many other ranged options better. So he said he will outlast Hippo. Okay, Hippo will get phased out eventually, and Lynx will be here to stay in the top 30, I think. I think he did say this because he is also following like the Korean server. So it is, Aurora Lynx is in the top 10. And this part is actually important. So if he was more readily available, if he was cheaper, then he would be all over. All right, let's go first with what I agree on. So I would take Awaken 7 Lynx over Awaken 10 Suryu. Me too, right? So Awaken 10 Suryu, of course, is already at max. So that's the best that you can get for Suryu. There's no Awaken 11 Suryu. At Awaken 7 Lynx, I have a Hippocampus paired together with a Lynx. That would be really, really good. It is possible for me to hit like 2 to 3 familiars at the same time, unless there is a like an Ebon Torex, and then that's the only one that will be hit by my Hippocampus, and then subsequently that will be the only one hit by the Aurora Lynx. But it is strong against a dark type, and so that way you can like break the first line of defense and then go to the range types quickly. So in that way, I think Aurora Lynx really has his value. But again, Awaken 7 Aurora Lynx is really expensive to have, and this is probably the last day that you can have him. So score for power, but need some help. Minus point maybe for affordability, right? There just aren't many other ranged options better. If you're talking about light, then yes, but Hippocampus is definitely better. I would still say Suryu is better. Meta is still a factor here. In the future, I would probably agree on this statement because, there is going to be a future where there is a Relics and there's going to be a lot of people who will be rocking a dark type team. And then so that's where Aurora Lynx value would skyrocket. But as of the moment, with today's meta considering, there are other options better, right? He will outlast Hippo. Lynx will be here to stay in the top 30, I think. In a way, I agree on that. I think it's natural because let's be honest here. So most people who has high awakening Lynx are whales, and so since whales have a lot of investment, they have more reason to stay in the game compared to free-to-play players. And so if you have an A7 Lynx, chances are you will be playing the game until after a year maybe, because that's how much you invested on the game. And so to those people who, so maybe that's the reason why the Korean and global is kind of skewed. We are now basically looking at Korea after a year of the game, right? So a lot of the maybe free-to-play players have already quit. Only the whales have stayed because, again, they've invested a lot. And so you are looking at basically the top 100 of the whales who have stayed, right? So you can't compare it, right? It's going to be really, really different. So a year from now or 6 months from now, Will there be a top 30 full of Aurora links? Maybe. Even top 100? Maybe. Because the top 100 will be composed of whales and dolphins, right? So that does that make sense? Yeah. So if he was readily available, he would be all over. Totally agree on this. But the thing is, as of the moment, he is not. Right. So yeah, price is still a factor. We are only looking at the current meta, what is going on right now. This is not a look forward to the future. So with that being said, I am placing Aurora links right here in the strength in numbers, but bigger than the other three. Okay. So there you go. I took a long time here. I'm sorry. I really wanted to do 2 rows, but since we are over time, I am going to do the next row tomorrow. All right, just so we can keep the video very short. All right, but I promise you, it is a good one tomorrow. You're gonna enjoy it. But thank you very much for those who commented. And for this video, I would like to hear your thoughts again. You can just do the comments; it's okay. But it will be fun if you can send a video a message. I'll keep posting the my Discord on the description. Right, just send it there if you want to. But if not, you can just use the comment section. It's okay. I'm gonna read them tomorrow. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you on the next one.